So I had a viewer in one of my comments recently asking how to go about repairing their hand pump, and I told him that I actually don't really use hand pumps anymore because I pretty much moved to CO2. He asked, what is CO2? So in this video, I'm going to try to explain what these CO2 are used for and how you can use them. So to begin with, obviously they're both methods of filling your tire. So if you have a puncture and you put a new tube in, or if you're tubeless and you need to add more air, both of these methods add air to your tire. The difference is with the mini pump, you're obviously pumping the air into your tire, which is fine and reliable, and I've been using it for a long time. But the bad side is it takes a long time and it's kind of a hassle pumping all that air in your tire, and usually, at least in my case, I never get it completely full. CO2, on the other hand, has compressed carbon dioxide gas, which you use to fill your tire. In order to do that, you need this valve. These are pretty inexpensive, maybe $15 to $20 a piece, and each one of these CO2s I think are around $1.50 a piece. To use the CO2s are really easy. Basically, you take your valve, make sure it's completely shut, thread it onto your CO2. Then once it's threaded on, pretend it's threaded on, you then take this and put it onto the valve of your tire, or your inner tube, or whatever type of valve you have. And then finally, you open the valve via the control right here, and it'll very quickly fill up your tire. Be careful, this will get extremely cold while it's filling up your tire. If your tire reaches as full as it needs to be, depending on the size and stuff, you can always turn the valve to turn it off. But usually, in my experience on mountain bike or larger gravel tires, I just deplete the entire cylinder. One thing to note is even if you do stop it and put it away, it's not going to last that long. I think overnight or something like that, it'll probably leak out. So these are kind of one-time usage devices. And that's kind of the one drawback. Whereas this you can use, many times. Each one of these basically will get one usage out of. But realistically for me, I don't have that many punctures on a single ride, so I'll usually bring 2 CO2s, and that's plenty. And if you really want to be cautious, you could bring a pump as a backup. So for me, the biggest advantage is just the speed. I hate sitting on the side of the road, pumping these little tiny pumps, getting my arms tired, I'm sweaty, there's cars nearby. I'd rather just thread this on, have the tire pump up almost instantly, and then be on my way. I haven't experienced it myself, but some people have reported failures using these for various reasons. And then that can be quite frustrating. Maybe that's why you need a second or even a pump as a backup. But in my experiences, they've pretty much worked 100% every time. So that's the difference between a traditional mini pump and a CO2.